In this episode, a woman and her two dogs encounter a family of black bears during a walk, which proves fatal. The bears are not merely startled, however, they are hungry. Hit like and subscribe. But what happened next? Find out in this video. Welcome to Wild Assault. 39-year-old lady Laney Malavolta loved everything about the outdoors. She enjoyed strolling through the woods with her family and friends and her beloved dogs. She once hiked the Inca Trail in Peru with her mother, as well as 7414 ERs, which are mountains that surpass 14,000 feet in elevation. Her respect for nature and her knowledge of the wilderness were commensurate with her outdoor lifestyle. She shared her life with her partner, Justin. They both reside with their two dogs near Durango, Colorado, surrounded by rugged countryside. Their home in the foothills of the La Plata Mountains was the ideal place to enjoy the great outdoors. Durango is a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts. It was founded in 1880 as a mining town and served as a shipping hub for timber, coal, oil, and gas, silver, gold, and lead. In the winter, the snow-covered mountains provide excellent skiing for locals and visitors alike. During the warmer months, popular activities include hiking and mountain biking. On April 30th, 2021, a woman who worked as a wine sales representative for Republic National Distributing Company walked her dogs as usual in the afternoon. She followed the path they had frequently traveled. It meandered through the forest close to Whispering Pines Bible Camp. Spring was still in the air. The forest was alive with the sounds of nature as spring arrived. Laney breathed in the smell of pine. Her steps were gentle on the forest floor. She was surrounded by the countryside she cherished. But little did she know that danger was just around the corner. During the coldest winter months, bears rest upright in hollow trees or logs beneath a tree's root mass or in rock crevices. They can spend 6 months tucked away from the icy conditions outdoors. During this period, they refrain from eating, drinking, and defecating. As the weather warms, bears emerge from their dens, lower in reserves and ravenous. They search the countryside for as much food as possible to satisfy their ravenous appetites. As omnivores, they eat a variety of plants and berries in addition to animal protein in the form of birds, eggs, rodents, salmon, and animal carcasses. Humans are not typically their prey. Lady's dogs trotted slightly ahead of her. They began to pull slightly. Along the trail, their noses detected a scent, prompting them to quicken their pace. Laney pulled them back, but she should have let them go for around the corner. She was suddenly confronted by a mother, Black Bear, and her 2 yearling cubs. It was a perilous circumstance to be in. There are only black bears in Colorado, and their population is estimated to be between 17,000 and 20,000. In contrast to their brown cousins, they are typically less aggressive, with only 85 attacks on humans recorded between 1960 and 2020. There were only 3 fatalities, but that number was about to rise by 1. Nobody knows precisely what occurred. However, the following is a possible scenario. Laney froze in place. She frightened the female, something that was incredibly dangerous with cubs in tow. Slowly, she began to retreat. She raised her hands above her head to appear as imposing as possible. Her heart was pounding in her chest. As she felt adrenaline coursing through her body, her respiration rate increased. She anticipated an imminent attack. She merely hoped the bear would not perceive her as a threat and allow her to escape. However, as she continued to retreat slowly and deliberately, the female bear suddenly charged. The 2 dogs barked, prompting Laney to release their leashes. The bear ignored the 2 dogs and ran straight at Laney. She did not have much time to react when she was struck by the bear and thrown to the ground. When the bear pounced on top of her, her lungs were drained of air. The 2 dogs ran off back down the trail. They proceed back towards the residence. Laney prepared herself for impact. She attempted to protect her most vulnerable areas by interlacing her fingers and wrapping her arms around the back of her head and neck. The bear, however, bit down. It shattered flesh and bone, causing catastrophic and excruciating injuries. She attempted to remove it. She attempted to retaliate. However, each time she did so, the bear bit her harder and rubbed its head from side to side. It was vicious and vicious. Laney cried out. However, the assault continued. She had no choice but to endure the attack and hope the other woman will leave her alone soon. Unfortunately, the bear closed its jaws around the woman's neck, causing severe puncture wounds and catastrophic damage. When Justin returned home that night at approximately 8:30 p.m., he was perplexed to find both dogs in the garden. Both still had leads, but Laney was nowhere to be found. He yelled for her, but she did not respond. After a thorough search of their property, he departed along the path where they normally walk their dogs. He walked through the woodland, just as Laney had done hours before. When he rounded the trail's bend after approximately an hour of searching, he saw his girlfriend's lifeless body lying on the ground. He rushed to her aid, but it was evident that she had passed away. He immediately dialed 911. And when he realized she could not be saved, it must have been a shocking realization that will forever haunt him. It was evident from her injuries that a large wild animal had attacked Laney. It was also clear, tragically, that she had been partially consumed when wildlife officials arrived on the scene. They discovered bear paw prints and bear fur near Lady Leigh Bear Scott, just off the path. They were aware of the perpetrator or perpetrators. With their noses to the ground, they released their sniffer dogs to track down the bears responsible for the attack. They quickly detected a scent that led the investigators to a mother and her 2 cubs. 3 animals were euthanized. The necropsy revealed the presence of human remains within the stomach of the cell and one of the cubs. As the cubs had observed their mother kill a human and consume the corpse, there was a possibility that they would do the same in the future, according to the experts. Although euthanasia is a last resort, it was the safest option for visitors to the area. When the autopsy was conducted, it was unclear why the female attacked Laney. None of the 3 animals displayed signs of disease or hunger. Was this a defensive attack that had gone horribly wrong for Laney, and the bears took advantage of the fresh kill? Laney was unquestionably in the wrong place at the wrong time. Since 1960, only 4 black bear attacks have resulted in fatalities in Colorado. During the 2 years prior to the attack, the frequency of human-bear conflicts has increased. The Colorado Parks and Wildlife Service has received 879 reports of bear conflicts. These incidents involved bears forcibly entering homes, dwellings, or garages. As the habitats of black bears and humans continue to overlap, there will likely be more interactions between the 2 populations. Justin was obviously devastated by the untimely death of his partner. He referred to Laney as his North Star and his life's love. In a heartfelt online obituary, he and his family found solace in the fact that Laney died in the wilderness with their dogs, doing precisely what she loved most in the world. In his words, while Laney's physical presence was suddenly taken from this earth, all that know and love her and take comfort, Laney's soul will spend eternity in her favorite location, performing her favorite activity. She would not have desired anything different. Despite the fact that this tragedy has shaken me and my family to the core, our burden is now light. Considering these facts,